This ring light is right in my eye. Let me see if I can turn that out. Probably not. Yeah, I hate when the ring light does. Hello, whoa boy. And the ring light has a lot of reflection in my on my glasses. Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. This week went by so fast. Can you tell I'm still in my work clothes because story of my life. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Okay. Am I on Facebook? Oh, I didn't click it. No, I did. I did. Listen, y'all bear with me. It's been a marathon week. Um, hello, Irolade. Um, Big Fantastic 25. Hi, everyone. So I have a number of people waiting on me to send emails and to review contracts. Please bear with me. Hello, Abby_me. It's been a marathon week. It's been back-to-back court cases because I do criminal defense in Alabama. So I've had court literally like, yeah. Um, so I'm going to catch up with that tonight. So please bear with me. I know, I am always on my emails and all that. It's been like 48 hours. So just hang in there, people. Life happens. So here I am. That's what I signed up for. Now I've just gotten done with representing or taking care of those criminal cases, and some will be set for trial. But for right now, the week is just starting for me when it comes to immigration case. Hi, everyone. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. I am an immigration attorney slash criminal defense slash divorce lawyer. But I only do divorce and criminal defense in the state of Alabama. Immigration, however, I represent immigration clients in all states. Absolutely. Oh, Abby_me. Don't you dare give up. You're welcome. So I represent immigration clients in all states, in all 50 states. If you got an immigration case, if it's a case that I do, we can and do represent immigration clients regardless of state you live in. So if you need to contact my office, contact information is 334-341-4475. I've been told I say it too fast. I'm trying not to rush that. And once again, it's 334-341-4475. Same number on WhatsApp. You can text us on WhatsApp and also on our regular line on that number. Also, please share this video. Let's spread the word. Let's get as many people informed and knowledgeable about immigration process. On TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at Olale Immigration. It's just me. It's just me. But anyway, come on in. 334-341-4475. I haven't seen Mr. Oladimeji. That's my wingman. But if someone can help me put it on Instagram, 334-341-4475, as well as on TikTok. But if you are on Facebook and YouTube, then you can see it on the screen. And that's our contact information. Okay, let's talk immigration. How has everybody's week been? Let's start by encouraging one another. And Abby_me, I'm glad that it lifted your spirit. But the day before, which was Tuesday, I had a client who was almost giving up. And I had, sometimes I think I double as a therapist for myself and clients as well. Because but it could be overwhelming. It could be overwhelming trying to get your life stable, trying to also build a life with your kids. So I just told him. But funny enough, I have more male clients than I have female clients. I don't know why. And I've always been the girl that gets along more with men. I, I don't know, maybe because I'm sandwiched between two brothers, or maybe because I had my older brother was the one I had for the longest time. It was just because there's 4 years between me and my youngest, the next sibling. So I don't know. I just have more female clients than I have female clients. So I was telling him that, you're not trying to, doing what you're doing for somebody else, but you don't want your enemies to win either. You can't just give up. You've come too far to give up. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Do I have my days that I just like, oh shoot, this is just, a whole lot. Of course. And then you just remember what it's all about. So just hang in there. Encourage everyone, just keep going. But anyway, let's talk immigration. Once again, my number is 334-341-4475. And everybody knows the deal. We'll get to the questions after. Now, I want to talk briefly, it's going to be real brief, about the topic tonight, which is one of the things I enjoy. I really, really, really enjoy working on national interest waiver cases. And I think one of the reasons I enjoy doing that is because it's very challenging, and you have to be so crafty with how to argue what the client or what the petitioner is qualifies for, and why. Thank you for love, not hate. That's pretty cool. What the person qualifies for. So, and I've had a lot of people also ask me to do a live video and talk about national interest waiver green card. So if you're one of those people, this is the one you want to stay on and listen, because don't come back and say, see, lawyer, more. No, first of all, I already said my videos, not necessarily on the first page of Instagram, but some of the video part of it, whatever it is, I don't do tech. That's it. But so national interest waiver green card, what is it? Who qualifies? How do you file for it? Let's talk about that this evening. Once again, if you need to contact me, number is 334 Rantab Restaurant. We do questions after I'm done talking about the topic. 334-341-4475. Okay, national interest waiver green card. What is it? Who qualifies? How do you go about filing that? And what are the requirements for that? Now, when we talk about national interest waiver green card process, it is an employment-based green card application process. And I emphasize on process because the national interest waiver petition itself is a standalone petition. And a lot of people always confuse being able to file a petition and assume that it's all wrapped in one as far as the application. Now, green card application is separate from the underlying petition. And so that's why emphasis is on process, in the sense of there is the national interest waiver petition itself. And then based on that petition, that petitioner is eligible to now file the green card application, the 485 concurrently, because the EB2 right now is current. So you're able to file that concurrently with the national interest waiver petition. So it's a petition. It is a green card process that includes filing an I-140, filing an ETA 750B, and if you are eligible, which if most people are, because the EB2 category, like I said, is current, you can concurrently file the green card application. That's the whole entire process. Or you can file just the national interest waiver petition itself, meaning just your I-140, ETA 750B, and your supporting documents, supporting evidence, just as a standalone petition. So national interest waiver is an EB2, employment-based preference category 2, immigrant petition. It is a green card based petition. It allows you as a foreign national that qualifies for it to self-petition for your own green card without the help of an employer. So generally, U.S. employers, when you file an employment-based petition, the general rule is you normally would need a job offer and also to have Department of Labor certification to certify that, yes, there are not enough Americans to do that job. And then you also would generally need a U.S. employer to offer you a job and then start the process. That's the general employment-based route. However, because it's a legal system, there's always an exception when it comes to law. So the exception to you now have the exception to the requirement of a job offer, the requirement of a certification, permanent certification from the Department of Labor, and the requirement of having the employer be the petitioner. One of such exception is what we call the national interest waiver green card process. And basically, that takes away the need for a U.S. employer, the need for a job offer, the need to go through Department of Labor permanent certification that's taking upwards of 2 years now. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a long time. It takes away all of that and allows you to file your employment-based alien immigrant worker petition directly with USCIS, bypassing the Department of Labor, and self-petition for yourself without a job offer. That's key. You do not need a job offer when it comes to national interest waiver petition. It is basically you selling yourself. Okay, that didn't come out right. That didn't come out right. Because when you talk about people selling themselves, well, listen, my mind, y'all don't know something about me. Let me tell you a little thing about me. Let me digress a little bit. People who really know me, that I got a completely different side of me. That's part of why I can never be a pastor's wife. That's all I'm going to say. Because my mind goes a whole lot of, that's all I'm going to say. But when I say sell yourself, you're selling yourself. You are convincing immigration officer that based on my qualifications, based on this field that I'm in, it's going to be a complete waste of time to tell me to go get a job offer, tell me to go get an employer to file on my behalf, and tell me to get certification for Department of Labor. That's national interest waiver in a nutshell. That's the way my brain works. Like, okay, that's what we're trying to convince them that's what we're trying to sell to them. What are the requirements for national interest waiver? So national interest waiver basically means you're asking them to waive those requirements that are generally required. You're asking USCIS to let you waive that and just deal with you directly based on the fact that you're a person of exceptional ability. And then you have to satisfy 3 of the 10 criteria. You have to satisfy 3 of those, or you're someone who has an advanced degree. Advanced degree at the minimum is a master's degree. And then once you satisfy that first step, second step is you have to satisfy the 3 main requirements of the controlling landmark case, which is the matter of the Nassar case, which generally is basically saying you have to show that your proposed endeavor is in a field that has substantial merit and is of national importance. Something is of national importance. For example, if the U.S. government has designated that industry or that field or that research or whatever it is as being of national importance. We just all came through COVID, right? We already know that if you are doing anything research related to COVID and preventing another kind of pandemic, that's substantial merit, that's national importance. So that's one. Secondly, you have to be able to show that you are someone who is well positioned to be able to carry out that endeavor. Example will be, what is your educational background? What are your qualifications? Have you done presentations? Have you done articles? What are your peers in the same industry saying about you, reference letters, recommendation letters. Let's see. I had some things that I put down here. Your experience. For instance, how is your plan? Does your plan involve being able to provide and to create employment for Americans where they're going to benefit? Are you well positioned in that regard where that proposed endeavor will create jobs for Americans and boost the United States economy? That second part. The third part then is considering the fact that you're in a field that has substantial merit, considering the fact that your proposed endeavor is of national importance, considering the fact that you are well positioned to be able to carry out that plan based on, experience, educational background, funds you can create. That comes to, entrepreneurs, or a lot of people that some of people I represent. Based on all of that on a balance, it is absolutely beneficial to the United States. It's in the United States' interest to waive the requirements of a labor certification or job offer. It's impracticable. It's basically a waste of time to tell you to go through that based on everything you have presented to them that you're able to do. That's national interest waiver in a nutshell. Okay. The good thing about the one thing I love about national interest, and I've argued this and I'll keep arguing until Jesus comes back, because some officers will come back with RFEs. Now, let me say this. National interest waiver petitions are riddled with RFEs. But once in a while, we have to celebrate when we don't have an RFE. I had a lady whose case was approved yesterday. In 4 months, exactly 4 months, no RFE. I could not be happier for her because we didn't have any other choice. Her status is expired. We filed before the status expired, but it does not all the fallback status. So it was like, long Jesus by me. That's what you call all in. And I mean, that was it. And so to wake up yesterday morning and no RF, listen. It's not anything I know. It's just what God allows me to know. And working with clients who are just willing to just take chances and are open to edits and all that, it helps a lot. And so when I get cases where I don't have RFEs, I'm like, but I always have my mind prepared for that because it's just the nature of national interest waiver. I have a couple that we just got RFEs on. I have one that I sent out today. I had another one that was new. No, sent out 2 new applications and 1 RFE response. I have one that I'm working to say it's the name of the game. But sometimes immigration officers will come back and try to argue with you that they don't see how your plan is going to work. This is key when you file a national interest waiver, and there's case law to back it up. That's what the statute also says. There is no requirement for you to prove that your plan, your proposed plan, is going to be successful. There is no requirement for you to be able to show that, yes, this plan that you have in a field that is of national importance is going to be successful. Absolutely no requirement. So you may get, it's all about how you craft your evidence, how you craft your argument and your supporting evidence. So you may get your green card petition approved, and no one is going to tell you to go get a job. You're just being able to sell them something that is potentially going to succeed, but there's no requirement that it has to succeed. And so sometimes we get an RFE saying, well, you have to, no, we don't have to show you guys nothing that's going to be successful. No. And this is why, and this is what the law says. So I see that. I don't think there's anything, I don't see anything that's impossible. And that's because my brain works with, there's human power, and then you leave everything else. That once you've done all that God has allowed you to do, you leave everything else to Him. That's the way I see it. So one thing you have to also understand is, because I'm not going to get a lot of questions after that. That's why I want to reiterate on petition versus green card eligibility. So you're able to file a national interest waiver petition whether or not you are in legal status. A petition is not contingent on you being in legal status. emphasis on petition. Example of petition is the National Interest Waiver Petition, I-140, the Alien Relative Petition, I-130, the VAWA Petition, I-360, the Widowers Petition, same form, I-360, or Religious Worker Petition, I-360. Those are standalone petitions, and those can be approved all day, every day. That is different from being eligible to apply to adjust your status to that of a legal permanent resident. That's where the main issue lies with a lot of people. Example would be you're in F status, and many, I can count on one hand my national interest waiver cases that are not people who are in F1 international student status. 99% of my clients are international students. Then I have, I have someone who is actually on R1. Then I have someone who is on H1. No, I have 1, 2, 3 right now on H1B. I say that to say this. In order for you to apply for a green card based on a national interest waiver, you must be in valid status at the time you apply for the green card, not at the time you file the petition. Example, you're on F status, it's going to, duration of status usually is F status. However, your program is going to end October 31st. Let's assume you've already used up your OPT, everything. You're not even in the 60 days grace period, right? You're able to file a national interest waiver petition, I-140, anytime. However, in order for you to not have to leave the country and apply for your green card without having to leave the country, then that means that it is best for you to file your green card application when you have filed the I-140, or you're filing concurrently on or before October 31st, 2022. Now, there is, I want to say 245K, don't quote me on that, of the Immigration Nationality Act, where when it comes to employment-based petitions, you're able to still apply for your green card up to 180 days after your status expires. I don't ever talk about that because I don't want people to run with that, because I try as much as possible not to go beyond, if you're an F student, beyond your 60 days grace period, unless we just absolutely have to tap into that 180 days. However, as long as you apply for your green card I-45 with no later than 180 days after your status expires, when it comes to employment-based, then you're still eligible to apply in the country. But if you're not in legal status, you are able to apply for the national interest waiver petition, but you will not be eligible to apply for your green card. Example, you are someone who came into the country and you're seeking asylum. Asylum acknowledgement receipt says, okay, we acknowledge receipt of your application, and for as long as your application is pending, you are authorized to stay in the country. Now, your I-94, however, has expired. The authorized stay on your I-94 has expired. The fact that USCIS authorizes you to stay in the country based on you filing an asylum application is not an extension of your I-94 authorized stay. It is not. It basically just prevents USCIS from referring you to immigration court and placing you in deportation proceedings based on the fact that you have a pending asylum application. Let's go further. So your asylum application has been pending for 1 year, and your I-94 has expired 1 year now. You now find out you're eligible to file a national interest waiver petition, and you have that approved, right? The next stage is, how do I apply for a green card? The question then becomes, are you eligible to apply for your green card? And the short answer to that is no. And here's why. You have overstayed you came in with, visitor visa. You've overstayed that by a year. And the next thing you're going to say is, but when you want to draw them, authorized license stay. Yeah, that's because you have a pending asylum. That authorization, however, does not confer on you any legal status. So that means in order for you to get a green card based on an approved I-140 national interest waiver as an asylum seeker, you will literally have to leave the country because you're no longer eligible to adjust your status because you've overstayed. I know it's a mouthful, but I'm saying that because I know somebody's going to say, that's okay. There's sometimes I don't argue. Like I always tell people, let me be your second opinion. Let me be your first. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is, please understand that there's some things that are set in stone in the sense of the law does not change. So if a street lawyer tells you something, and if a real lawyer tells you something, the law does not change. That's what the law says. And I've had people not believe that. And then there's someone who ended up being placed in removal proceedings because she did exactly that. She thought, I didn't know what the heck I was saying. I'm like, okay, no problem. Ended up in the petition proceedings and called me back and go, yeah. And I wasn't going to say I told you so, but I wish that she had listened so she wouldn't be where she is right now. So that's why I'm saying it now, so you can understand that there is a difference between filing a petition and filing the green card application and being eligible to adjust your status. So that is national interest waiver in a nutshell. Self-based petition that you don't need an employer to file. You do not need a job offer. You do not need certification from Department of Labor. And you have to meet the requirements of exceptional ability or advanced degree. In addition to that, you have to show that your proposed endeavor is of substantial merit. It's of national importance. You are well positioned to carry out that proposed endeavor. And on a balance, when you put all 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 together, should justify, okay, let's approve this and not, require you to get a job or to have an employer file for you. As long as you're able to prove that, your resume, I always use my client's resume as a guide to know how we're going to address things, because your resume tells me your history and what your qualifications are, and it gives me an idea of how to classify your job, and then how to make an argument on your case. So that's all she wrote. National interest waiver green card process. It's a process. The national interest waiver itself is not the end all for the petition. Okay, so questions. Is that a tattoo on your head? Which one? Because are you talking about this one? Okay, that's the one you can see. Yes, it is. And it says God's own. All right, let me start on TikTok. I think I already started on Facebook and so let me start on TikTok. Okay, wait. Okay, let me go all the way back. I think the lot. Okay, let me see what the time is now because I literally still have to work. Okay. Okay, I'll start and see what I can get to. Let's see. Night Beach. I hope I haven't murdered. Oh, wait. What's going on? Okay. Did I lose you on Facebook? Real quick. This is my internet sometimes. Can you process a fiance visa when you're not in the States? I'm assuming you mean by process, can you initiate that? And the short answer to that is yes, because you start You have to follow the process, the I-129F with USCIS. As long as you have someone to help you submit it or you mail it in yourself, but it has to be filed here. So you're not required to be physically present to initiate the petition, but you're going to file it with USCIS. Your hair is fire. Thank you. It's actually due to be washed. Still, I washed this hair this weekend. Oh yeah, 𝒘𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒕. But I looked at it this morning like, well, if I put a little oil and use a dry shampoo, yeah, because it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week. Can my friend come to, and this is Kelly, can my friend come to U.S. from Jamaica on travel visa and get married in U.S. while I know I'm a lawyer. I can tell you to tell your friend to come to the U.S. on a visa and come get married. Let's see. Good evening. My 25 case last month. I find it difficult if I don't have complete questions. Love your glasses. Where can I purchase that? It's a local. It's a not mom and pop. It's a local optometrist in my town. So it's not a franchise. Do you file mandamus lawsuit? I do not. I no longer do that. And mandamus, for those who don't know, is when USCIS is not doing what they're supposed to do, and you need to ask a U.S. District Court to make them do what they're supposed to do. Okay. Okay, Marshard. My 25 case last month with I-360 only. I am expected I-140 can change to C9 category. I don't think I understand your question. If the best I can. So are you saying he or she didn't file at 485? Okay, let's see. Your wife is a green card holder. So are you asking, hello, Ghanaian wife, are you asking if you're holder? This is coming. Okay, the thing mine is going in and out on Facebook. If that's what you're asking, so that preference category is F2B is actually current. That means that you are able to file simultaneously, concurrently, your green card application with the VAWA. Hello, Ghanaian wife. How are you? What time is it in Ghana now? No, it's morning, but hello, Fatu. Next hair braiding one. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Okay. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓 immigration lawyer. My heart skips every time you appear on my screen. Don't have a heart attack, but thank you for the compliment. My own heart skips when I see myself too in the morning because like, what's this? I wake up and like, what the hell is that? Okay. Why is USCIS taking so long to do interviews? My husband has been waiting for almost 3 years, and I am. What's the rest of your question? Okay. How can I bring my family to the U.S.? I am a citizen. Short boss _13. You want to discuss with a lawyer and see know what the process is. I-130 will be where you want to start. So let your mind explore. Our boredom isn't good. Listen, can we have real talk? Like Africans, most of us are Africans. Can we have real talk? And I had a conversation with a friend this morning. Y'all need to carry on with your judgment. If you're going to be judging, just go. But let's have a real talk. Let's digress a little bit. We are raised in Africa in a society that is very close-minded, very close-minded. There's some things that when I moved to the United States 20 years ago, I was like, maybe because these people these people too, they understand my thinking. So I really, especially after when I got divorced, I really came into myself and be able to embrace every part of who I am, and some things that I believe or the way I comfortable with some things doesn't really go with the way we're raised in Africa. For instance, you cannot talk about, sex. You cannot talk about, you know what I mean. But for me, those who know me, they know there's nothing I cannot say, and there's nothing like being free to be who you are, and just being God's child at the same time. So let's just leave it as that. But we need to be more open-minded in Africa. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Chicken wings. All right. Thank you. So national interest waiver is not an impossibility. The challenge is now there are some fields that are very, very straightforward in the sense of you don't have to try to argue or to convince them that it's of national importance, especially when it comes to healthcare. For instance, there is national interest waiver specifically for physicians. They specifically just for physicians, so they don't even have to, as long as they have these letters, they go to this area to work. That's how I got my green card, through my ex-husband's job, and that's what brought us to the South, because my ex-husband is a physician, and so we did the national interest waiver for physicians. That's very straightforward. So there's some jobs that are very Cajun Masita. There's some jobs that are very straightforward, but for the majority of people, many people are not physicians. People have different fields, and so it depends on how strong your qualifications are, how good and detailed your reference recommendation letters are. If you publish articles, it doesn't requirement that you have to publish anything. You don't have to have a PhD degree. It's just an advanced degree, which is a master's degree and upwards. If I have a client who has 1 year at least still left on their, for instance, F status, I always take a shot at it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You get denied. That's the worst. But then you don't prepare your mind to get denied. You prepare your mind to get an approval to win. And so you have to give it everything you've got. So I wouldn't say some fields are impossible. I'll just say depends on how strong the evidence you have is. Proven your venture will be successful. That's actually one of the not easier, but the not so hard sell when you're filing as an entrepreneur. And like I said, there's no requirement that you have to show that it's going to be a successful venture. No, you just have to show that it's those requirements. As long as you have evidence to support those requirements for national interest waiver, that's what it is. Office contact number is 334-341-4475, DO513SO. Okay. I wonder who this smart _ old person is. You don't have a see. I don't like people. I take that back. I don't like when people do not have profile pictures, because you can hide behind things to say things if you don't have profile, or if you use someone else's. Put your profile picture up. Let's see what you. How long does it take to get work authorization when applying through VAL? It depends on what category you filed. Did you file a C9? Based on the fact that you filed a 45, if you did, then it's taking them average of 6 months. For whatever reason, USCIS has decided to work in cases received this year and somehow neglected those filed last year. So we'll see. Okay. Thank you, Elite Coach Jeremy. Appreciate that. My nails, yeah, I do. Y'all don't know. Like, my work is very serious as a lawyer. So for me, I have to have, you know, this side that is not just serious. And so, like, this whole week was about not sad, but criminal cases are not the best. And I mean, someone is charged with a crime. I have people that I represent this week that we went to court, ranging from theft of property, forgery, to murder. So, somebody's life is hanging on the balance because they killed somebody, allegedly killed somebody that wasn't justified. So I have to find all the ways to just, as a citizen, is it possible to sponsor your siblings who live outside the United States? Short answer, yes. And the caveat to that is it's the longest category that it takes the longest. It's taken upwards of 10, 15 years for them to get a green card. The Duchess MD. Hello. Thank you. Where's my office located? In Alabama. Sweet home, Alabama. But when it comes to immigration cases, I represent immigration clients in all states. Yes. Okay. How long does it take for a mother to file for a child? Is that mother a citizen? Is the mother a green card holder? Is the child married, unmarried? Those are questions that you want to sit down. It's just not how long. There's a lot that goes into. There's some questions just not yes or no answers. Travel Guy D. I love your question. If you have two wives, can you file for both of them? Okay. This is not punked, right? Because I think you got jokes. But listen, I need your help, my price Lex. So I do consultations. And if you go on our website, olalalawfirm.com, in consultation, we have 3 times and fees for those. That's how I answer specific questions. But this is how I give back and answer as many questions as people have that could be helpful. Okay, so 8 new questions. Okay, hold on, TikTok people. I am going on Facebook and on YouTube. So, Cecilia, I'm sorry. I know it came in like almost 30 minutes later. But y'all, I'm a mama first. So I had to take care of my 12-year-old. Just started additional practice soccer and basketball. Listen, the guy is just tired. So I had to clean up the whole lot. But it is what it is. So I'm sorry that I didn't come. Baker Ortiz, thank you. I appreciate that. IT's Corner TV. Hi, ma'am. It's my first time here. Welcome. Alice Joseph. Hi, Miss Alice. If you know if you qualify, you want to sit down and have a consultation with. That's how I can tell you if you qualify. However, like I said, I'm going to reiterate again. The fact that you qualify for a national interest waiver does not mean that you are going to be able to get your green card based on the approval. If you're not eligible to adjust your status, for the most part, that means if you're not in legal status, to now become eligible to adjust your status. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Hello, Mr. Rashid. How are you? Frank, I've been waiting for my wife's interview for 1 year, 2 months. Everything is backlogged. It's not. Is it at USCIS or at the embassy? Which one? Hi, my husband applied as single. Can I apply as the main applicant and include him? Single as what? Apply as single for what? Okay, Frank, it's National Visa Center. You're not alone. I have a case that's pending almost 18 months. We've done expedited requests 2 times, and both times has been rejected. You're not alone. It's ridiculous. It is what it is. Okay, let me go to Instagram. Hello, hello, hello. Rantab Restaurants. Cane Day. LA Cane Day. Okay. Thank you. I passed my citizenship test, but still no response after 3 months. What did they tell you at the uh um what's it called, interview? Did you were you asked additional questions? Because that's what they've been doing these days. Okay, I think the number. Okay, what action should I take next? Whenever you have an interview, especially nationalization, you have to give them 120 days. So if you're talking about 3 months, that's 90 days. So you have to, that's what their policy is 120 days. So just wait 120 days. If you haven't heard anything from them in that time frame, call them. If 6 months comes by, you can seek congressional assistance and see what happens. But it still boils down to what additional questions were you asked that made them not decide to grant your to approve your case there. How long does it take for an interview after approving an I-360? Depending on the field, obviously that question gets asked every single time. But good evening, Valence branch. Okay. When immigration asks for additional evidence based on divorce decree from Nigeria, how does someone prove it's genuine? You contact the people who sent it to you. You try to get a lawyer back home to help you verify. See if you can get it recorded, because not everything was recorded when it was actually entered into. When the order was entered by the judge. You have to understand that sometimes you have to fight back, because our system back home in Africa generally, it's not the same as here, where they have everything. Technology is huge. We're just getting used. I'm not saying that it's not something we can do, but it's not the same pace, and that's why we're still called developing countries, and they're called developed countries. So that's one argument I've made, that you don't expect us to be on the same level as you are. So not everything is going to be recorded when it should have been. God bless. What does it mean when it said we receive your correspondence and they approve your VAR case? That's what it means. You just got an approval. Something that was happening, they got on your case again, and then approve your case. Okay, let's see. Hello, Miss Johini. How are you? Shay Talk 2002. Thank you. Appreciate that. Nitty _ what can you do when your change of status is denied? Came in with K1 visa. You want to sit down and talk to an attorney. _Abami_clothing. How are you? Well, Yorùbá. So is there any other option for someone still on pending asylum application? You want to sit down and discuss your case? Are you dating somebody? Are you getting married? There's a whole lot that you can look into to see if you qualify. Being paid, can I apply for an NIW with a JD? Is that going to be the equivalent of a master's degree? That's the question, the very first question. Or do you have, are you able to satisfy at least 3 of the requirements for exceptional ability? So you want to sit down with a lawyer and evaluate your case. Mercy's Beauty, can you please talk about filing for green card without needing your employer? That's what we just did. So I'm going to, Mercy, this video is going to be up, but that's the whole thing I just talked about this night. So yeah, you may just want to go back and watch it. Have a bad case, but when I made inquiry, I was told my case is undergoing security check. Please advise. What's your question on that? Okay. Adela Raj, congratulations. My NIW National Interest Waiver got approved recently, but I still have an active F1 visa. While my adjustment of status is pending, do you advise a travel or the advanced parole? I cannot advise you because I don't know anything about your case. Generally, I don't. Whenever the National Interest Waiver petition has been approved, that's usually my main concern. But once I get an approval in that, I don't worry anymore. Unless you just, you killed somebody recently, something. Because employment based, I think I've only had probably only 2 that were ever scheduled for interview. I know for sure 1. But the one that I remember vividly is because when he came as a student, he cut himself a criminal case. So he's a citizen now, but that's the only one I've ever had being scheduled for an interview. I say that to say this: for the most part, your employment base, you don't get scheduled for an interview. Once your underlying petition has been approved, it's smooth sailing. Knock on wood. The next thing, it may take a year, but you would the next update. And if you've gotten your medical done, the next update will be they transfer your case to another jurisdiction, which basically just means they're transferring. So the service center is done with their work. Now they're going to transfer your file to your field office, and then they have jurisdiction over that. And for the most part, they will adjudicate your green card. And the next thing you will see will approve your applications or your status. So I don't worry once I get an IW or even an employment-based employer filed petition. Once we get that approved, it's like, yeah. Hello, Mr. Stanley. Is it possible for USCIS to waive an I-45 AOS interview based on VAL? Yes, it is possible. That's happened in my firm. So. On 10 years green card as an asylee, can I get married now? Can I get married? I'm not sure I understand your question. Big Fantastic 25. So are you saying you've been granted asylee status and now you apply for green card and you now have your 10-year green card based on that? Is that what you're saying? So what would be the issue? If that's what you mean, what's your concern about getting married? Money Pally, what documents can be presented as RFP for birth certificate if I do not have a birth certificate as I-130 petitioner? You can do DNA testing. You can also do attestation of birth, declaration of age, depending on what country you're from. I don't know if you're Nigerian. Good evening. I have my removal proceedings. Case dismissed. Can I apply for advanced parole? Generally, yes, but I'm not talking about your case because I don't know anything about your case history. Criminette, no. Yeah, you're going to make me feel really, yeah. No, no feedback. No feedback. And it just, listen, I'm just going to leave that alone. No feedback, but I cannot not keep believing and trusting God that something is going to happen soon, positively for her. So, but no feedback yet. And listen, yeah. Honey DD, been waiting 10 months for my I-751. If you are eligible for citizenship, then you may want to go ahead and file that. That may or may not speed up the case. For the most part, it does, but that's an option. That's something you can do to see if they would, if they schedule your interview for a citizenship, then they would have to adjudicate your 751. Okay, so you're wondering, big fantastic 25. You're wondering if you now can file for somebody because now you have your 10-year green card. And generally, yes, but keep in mind if that person is out of status, they won't get a green card because you're not a citizen yet. So you may want to wait till you become a citizen. You can file an I-130 once you get married and just leave it as is until you become a citizen, because they won't be able to get a green card if they've overstayed, unless they have not overstayed. God bless. When it says receive correspondence, that means anything. It could mean they're about to approve your case, which you just said your case was approved. So it just means basically there's been some action taken on your case. Sometimes it mean literally what it says, that they received correspondence. For 99% of the time, it's not anything they receive. It's just an action being taken on your case. Okay, good. All right. Thank you, Nelly B. Cell. But sometimes it doesn't mean any response was received. Correspondence, which is something, it's a generic update for USCIS that can mean literally, like I said, they received something, but 99% of the time they didn't receive anything. They just have taken action, and for the most part, within days, not even weeks, you will see an update on that case. Okay. All right, people. Let's see. Okay. All right. 49 new questions on TikTok. No, that's not. I think the next time we'll just do questions and answers again. Yeah. But anyway, all right, everyone. Thank you very, very much for always joining and keeping me company. I do really, really, really appreciate it. Once again, if you need to contact my office, contact number is 334-341-447. You're welcome, Big Fantastic. 4475 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 username is the username on all 4 platforms. So I will see you guys next time. Please share this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that. And if we can help you with your immigration case, once again, it's 334-341-4475. And I'll see you guys next week, God willing. Have a good night.